All right, all right, all right, all right. This one I'm gonna do a little bit not differently, but differently, but different. It's not gonna be the same as for the one that we had for Florian Wirtz, or the one that we did for Dominic Szoboszlai, or the one that we did for Frimpong, the one that I did for Alexander Isak as well. Make sure you check out those videos. We're just gonna talk about Mac Allister. We're just gonna talk about it. I'm gonna show you some stuff. You guys let me know. Really and truly. You let me know how you feel, blah, blah, blah. We can obviously take it, from there, right? This is you guys midfielder, right? Not gonna say anything. You guys, we can let it go from there. To say he had a poor season is an understatement. Like, to me. I know a lot of you share that same sentiment, but for me specifically, he had a very, very poor season. Would I say he was the worst of the midfielders? Yes, if you're talking about the regular ones. Of course, I'm not throwing in Endo and all that kind of stuff, because of course Endo doesn't play. So yeah, in terms of all the regular midfielders, so that's Szoboszlai, Curtis Jones, Ryan Gravenberch. Yeah, he was the worst one, the worst one. He's played in different positions last season. So defensive midfield, central midfield, attacking midfield. We've seen it also kind of really since he's actually been at Liverpool. If you can see the positions, whether it was first season, second season, obviously third season, and etc. etc. This is the Mac Allister I thought we was going to sign. When we signed him for 30, was it 35 million? I said, okay, we're getting this brother. I've watched him. I've actually watched him. I've seen what he can do for both Argentina, but mainly, of course, for Brighton. And what's so crazy is, 'cause I know a few people, I think maybe Jerry Savage, don't know actually Savage, but I know Jerry and Ends, they've spoken about, is it Pascal Gross? I think that they were speaking about in that Brighton team. For me, it was always Mac Allister. Him and Caicedo, to be fair, I always felt like they kind of worked in some form of tandem, especially when they played alongside each other in kind of a double pivot at times, right? I used to look at those two and I said they complement each other so well. You got one who's, the kind of dog, in the midfield. He's gonna mop up everything. Do you get what I mean? And you've got the one who can just kind of put the icing on the cake next to him. They're both comfortable when the ball is played into them, back to the opposition goal and all of that kind. Like, they're brilliant, tight spaces. But again, that's just Brighton. Do you know what I mean? It seems like all their players, Lewis Dunk being one of them, they can all do that, right? But these two in particular, they're really, really good at that. And then when Mac Allister was playing further forward and all of that kind of stuff, I thought, yeah, no, he looked kind of nice. Like nice, he's tidy. Do you get what I'm saying? He's in these kind of positions. You can see, I think, licking off shots. It was crazy. It was absolutely crazy. Now, and he also had that kind of, I want to say free reign, but it's the Roberto De Zerbi. So how much free reign did you really have? But you know what I mean? That kind of license to be able to almost roam around, kind of do your thing. He was pressing, and to be fair, he presses at Liverpool. Let me not say he doesn't. Yes, I know he can't really get about the pitch and etc. etc. But he does do that, right? So he was doing all of that kind of stuff, and I think I remember looking at this. This was, I think, before when we were signing him, and I was checking out style of play, how's it going to work for Liverpool, etc. etc. So obviously this is before Klopp actually got his hands on him in terms of where he was going to fit necessarily in the team. I remember looking at this, and I think if you guys remember, Liverpool was starting to also do their own kind of box midfield, and you know what I mean. You had like Trent, Curtis Jones, and all these. It was brilliant. So I thought, oh my god, you got Mac Allister at the top end of that box midfield, and it should look something like this with Mac Allister further forward. Gross would be whoever was there at the time. I can't remember when we signed them. I think we got Szoboszlai, Gravenberch in at that period of time. So I just thought it would be so seamless when I started watching him. I thought he was going to be a player who we're going to be comfortable giving the ball to him. Giving the ball to Mac Allister is what we need to do, because we needed to almost slow things down a little bit. We were going at like 100 miles an hour. Players were getting injured. We didn't have the right players coming off the bench. We needed someone in the midfield who can just be a bit cool. I'll be honest, just someone who's just cool, man. Like, I'm easy, man. Like, do you know what I mean? Just give me the ball, pop, 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 and then we can still move quickly. Of course, I'm not saying move at like snail's pace, but you know what I mean. Just move with a bit of coolness and a bit of swagger when they're in that midfield. Someone who's smart, who can see everything. You can see here with the arrows, there. All of that. This is obviously against Liverpool, so I thought that's what we we're going to see, and then like I said, when he was playing for Argentina, it was going to be, okay, I'm going to make those, third man runs. I'm going to run beyond the strike. I'm going to do all of that kind of stuff. Yeah, I'm not going to say he's never done that, because that would be a bull-faced lie, right? Because he has done all of those things that I've just shown you here. He has done them at one point or another, right? Has he done that consistently though? The answer is no, he has not. And I think that's what kills it when it comes to someone like Mac Allister, is that we can, again, it's doing the, I can attribute it to the manager and all of that, but I didn't think you were popping when Klopp was here. I really didn't. I really didn't think he was that good. So the first season, we gave you a bit of a well, I say we, I didn't, but others gave you a bit of a blind. They were like, oh nah, but gee, first season and he was playing in defensive midfield and he's covering space. Cool, fine, all right then. Then we get into the next season, and I thought he improved his performances 100%. I'm not going to disagree with that. But to say that they were at the level he was at Brighton, no, 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 no. For me, they weren't there. Hence why I was so confused when people were getting, oh, he's like the best midfielder in the Premier League. And blah, blah. And this is what I keep saying about when we talk about players and stuff like that, right? We're so quick to label players good, bad, ugly, shit, all of those kind of things. We're so quick. Like we just want to, do you know what I'm saying? Like it's like we have to label them something. Like, do you know what I mean? Like you can't just leave them alone and let them develop and let them do whatever it is they need to do. We have to label them. And I'm like, you don't have to label everybody like straight away anyway. Let's give them some time. Let's, you know what I mean? Let's wait and see, etc., etc. But we're so fast. We're so quick. And obviously when it's your own club, I get it, because you feel that, oh, I'm watching him all the time and yada, yada, yada. I get all of that. But we're doing it so quickly that it's like we're almost forgetting, like, hey, we may need to just slow this down a little bit, because the players probably are not performing at that type of level, or lower if you think they're performing. Maybe they're just not. Maybe it is, all right, cool, yeah, all right. Unless obviously some players you can just see it. Like let's not lie about it. There are some players that you just looked at and just said, yeah, and it's just true. They are just rubbish or whatever the case may be. But for someone like him, I was always like, okay, do you know what I mean? Like I was very harsh about you in that first season. Okay, let's get to that second and third season. I'm expecting minimum for you to be at the level that you was at Brighton. For me, you wasn't at that level. You was Liverpool's best midfielder, but that didn't put you above that level, if that kind of makes sense. So you might have been Liverpool's best midfielder, but you being Liverpool's best midfielder is like Szoboszlai this season. You're Liverpool's best midfielder, but to put you up against the other midfielders in the league, nah, you're not really up there, in my personal opinion, right? Like, you're just the best that we've got, which is fine. That's like every team has got that, right? Every team has got one player that they would say is the best at blah, 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 blah. That's exactly how I saw Mac Allister, I think, in that second season. And then obviously this season, yeah, he's been horrible. He's just regressed. And I don't even understand or know why. I really, really don't know. Like, I'm genuinely trying to like figure it out as to how we've gotten from this kind of stuff, to what we're seeing, from him at this current moment in time. And it honestly is just sad. Like, it genuinely is just sad, you know what I mean, at this point. So I want to take a look at this, right? I definitely want to take a look at this, because I wanted to. This is obviously all of his seasons at in the Premier League, to my knowledge. So obviously you got 2 seasons at Brighton, and then obviously you got your 3 at Liverpool. We're gonna take a look, right? We're gonna take a look at everything. All right, so I've done it total, because I know it was some people have messaged. Okay, I'm gonna do total, and then we're gonna do per 90, and then whatever. I guess whichever one I guess floats your boat, right? So total, and make it a bit smaller so we can kind of see it. Hopefully you guys can see that. Should be fine. Yeah, that should go. All right. I don't know why I put the games minutes. I don't even care about the goals, actually, to be fair, but because I knew he was gonna have more goals at Brighton anyway, so that is what it is, right? On average, what's that, maybe like 3 goals, I guess, in the Premier League. Well, 5-5-2. You can say about 4 goals for Liverpool on average in the 3 seasons. But again, that wasn't really my main thing. Just because I know the role that he played at Brighton, and I obviously know that he has not been playing that role at Liverpool. To be honest with you, I mean, unless you want to say maybe in his second season in the 24-25 campaign, maybe. Do you want to say that season he was potentially? I don't know. You guys would have to kind of tell me. But yeah. So let's see. He made more open play passes, obviously, but I kind of understand that again. Brighton created more chances, understand that. Passes attempted, kind of understand that. So yeah, all of that stuff I kind of get. Long passes, again, through balls, forward passes, made more backward passes, more sideways passes, take-ons, overrun, duels contested. He contested a lot more duels than he ever did in any of these other. I mean, even playing in DM, he still didn't create that many. In comparison, anyway. Obviously, not far off, but didn't not as many. Tackles made 84, made 99. Take-ons 52. I mean, look at the number. Like, obviously, he's got here this 21, right? And I'm guessing that was probably when he first come into Brighton. Cool. So when you're looking here, yeah, let's see where was it? Take on 52, right? Let's see if I can highlight that for you guys. 52 take-ons he made that season. He made 18, 16, and an 11. Like, it's just gone down. But surely, if you see that this is a guy who can do that, and he was at fit, like, surely that's going to be something that you would, I don't know, get him to do more. Even in the first season for Brighton, it's still more than any other season he's had for Liverpool. Literally any other season. So in my mind, I'm thinking, but wouldn't that be something that, like, I don't understand? Like, why is that not something that you're trying to continue? Like, I really don't get that. No problem. Fouls, ground duels contested. He contested 362. Again, more than what he was making for Liverpool. Again, this is the season that he played in DM, 328 in comparison to 362. He won more, obviously. Jules won, his percentage was better. Interceptions, he made more in that DM position. Fairs, give you that. More touches, ball recoveries, again, 263. The next best was that season, obviously, here, 195. Obviously, touches in opposition box. Cool, I'll give you that. Times he was tackled, less obviously everywhere else. His best season would be last season, the 24-25 season, the year that Liverpool won the league. So yeah, I mean, I'm looking at this, and when I look at these kind of stats, I'm like, this is a player that you need to get on the ball more. This is the guy that you need to almost make the hub of your midfield. You need to make this guy the guy in the midfield. But it's like it's like Dominic Szoboszlai had one season, Gravenberch had one season. Like I don't know. It's like none of the focus has ever really been on him. If I'm being 100% honest with you, like, and I've always found that in itself kind of weird. Let me even forget even that. What we'll do is we'll take a look at the other midfielders for Liverpool, right? So let's take a look at Ryan Gravenberch, and we'll just see. We'll just kind of see what's kind of popping, and then Dominic Szoboszlai. So I'm doing this with you guys, right? This ain't no edits, no nothing. We're gonna run the rhythm. We're gonna run the rhythm. All right, let's see. This is obviously from this season. No worries. I feel like I need to take. All right, I'm going to take Szoboszlai out in a minute, but we're just going to see anyway. He played one more match than these guys. Got 2 goals, the least amount of goals. Open play passes completed. He got the least. Chances created, the second most. Passes attempted, the least. Passes completed, the least. Accuracy, the worst. Long passes, the second most. Long pass accuracy was second best. Through balls, last. Forward passes, last. Backward passes, last. Sideways passes, last. Bro, you even passing the ball at this point. Take-ons over run, obviously Gravenberch would get that. Jules contested, he's still the third best. Made 53 tackles, just two less than Zobo. Take-ons completed. Fouls, he had 35 of them, so the least, which is actually quite surprising. Ground duels contested, obviously I said the least. Jules won, ground duels won 96. I mean, fucking it, mate. Interceptions only 20. So I mean, in that midfield, I mean, you've just been the worst performer. Like, let's keep it a bean. You have genuinely just been the worst performer within that midfield, and you played a game more than these guys. Like, honestly, like I like I said, I didn't need to put up like a tactics board and all of that kind of stuff. I just didn't really feel like there was any real need, because to me, you should just be selling him. Like I don't really feel like Liverpool need to do anything else. I've heard that there's rumors about various different clubs, mainly of course Madrid, whether they actually want him or not. I don't really know. I don't really care. I just feel, listen, have a good World Cup, do really well. Hopefully Argentina gets really far. I still think Liverpool should sell you. Like, I think Liverpool can go out there. I think Liverpool should be selling him and keeping Curtis Jones. I think that would be the play. And then you still get in your 2 midfielders, because 100% Liverpool still need to buy in 2 midfielders, but you let him go. You let him go, and then we can, we can move from there. At this moment in time, I just think he's just there. I think I heard him about he's moaning about, bearing the brunt of the criticism. Yeah, because you've been shit. You haven't been good. Like, well, you think you've been good? Like, you think within the midfield that you've been the best? Come on, man. Like, let's leave that one out. Let's leave that one out, man. So yeah, for me, like I said, man, I look at Alexis Mac Allister. He was a promising player, and I have no doubt he probably goes somewhere La Liga, the Bundesliga, whatever. And I feel like he probably would. Players always do that. Players always do that. They end up just you're able to play in a team that can fully use your talents, use your skill set in order to make you look a lot better than you previously did. Let me not even say than you actually are, because that's like me then saying Scott McTominay is not good. Nah, they're good. They're clearly doing something right. Do you know what I mean? So I'm not going to sit here and say that you don't have talent, because I do believe you do have the talent. And I think maybe that's even one of the reasons why I get so frustrated, because I'm sitting there and I'm like, oh, bro, like I've seen you play well. Like I've seen it with my own 2 eyes. I've seen you play well. Why is it now when you come to Liverpool, and it happens near enough all the time, Liverpool seem to get some of these players, like certain types of players anyway, and they just don't really work, man. They just don't really work, man. I guess Liverpool got a type. You know what I mean? Like we've all got a type of a partner that we would all want. Liverpool got a type. Liverpool, they can't just get any type of player. They need a specific type of player in order to make it work. And I think that's just what I'm seeing with, someone like Alexis Mac Allister. So for me, you gotta go. You gotta go. You gotta go. But let me know. What do you think? Like, stay, go, whatever. Like, I just feel like Liverpool need to. For me, Liverpool just need to just.
You fucking still going on about that? You got wrapped up. It's cool, innit? Gonna have to eat that one.
As he said, we're just gonna have to eat that one. Just gonna have to eat that one. Move on. It is what it is. It happens. It happens to the best of us. You know what I'm saying? But let me know. Let me know in the comment section. What do you think? Keep him, sell him, rotation option. I don't know. Whatever you feel that we should do with Alexis Mac Allister, let me know in the comment section below, people. I'll catch you soon.